Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of BS with Bella, and today I have Bubba and Colin joining. We're going to be talking about mental health and the reality of being a college student, so let's get into it. So I met Colin at a bar my freshman year of college. He was completely blacked out.
Never done that before.
And I just never seen Colin blacked out before. And I met Bubba through Greek life here. And how did you two meet? You and sweet Colin over there.
We met on a Facebook group.
I Snapchatted him, I think.
For like the freshman orientation Facebook groups.
Oh, so the Facebook
when you
page.
when you come into school. And we're looking for roommates.
Well, I initially didn't know he was looking for more roommates. I thought he was looking for a roommate. And then I asked him to be my roommate, and he was like, "No, I already have one."
That is true.
You can get in our suite. So from there, I was like, "All right, this guy's cool." I wanted to be his roommate, so I might as well be in a suite. Had to get a random roommate.
It was just 3 of us. Well, it was actually 4 of us, and then one kid just dropped out.
Yeah.
Oh.
My initial roommate dropped out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 3 of us. It was me, Bubba, and Tommy.
Yeah, our buddy Tommy.
Oh, nice. So that's where the friendship all began.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Crazy fucking ride.
How has your college experience been so far? After being seniors, you're almost done.
Yeah, I mean...
Chaotic.
It's, the end is nearing, so...
There is a light, believe it or not.
At the end of the tunnel?
There is. The saying's true.
You know, it's been a good time, but I'm ready to move on at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's been, a lot of shit that I've enjoyed about being down here, being in South Carolina, but, I think it's time for me to, move on to the next phase of my life, but I'm definitely, thankful for everything that I've gotten to enjoy.
So when you guys joined, I was a freshman, so I was, after COVID was, completely over. Well, kind of-ish, you guys were getting back into the, groove of everything?
It was done down here.
Yeah. COVID didn't exist.
But you guys went home in March because of it.
I didn't go home.
You stayed here.
I stayed.
I went home.
So you were still a critter?
Yes.
Would you guys say, that whole COVID, affected your college experience?
A lot.
Going home, or did everything kind of change?
Well, that was your pledge semester.
Yep.
Colin joined that semester.
I joined spring 20, so in February.
Yeah, because when I met you, you were still rushing. You weren't really in.
Yeah, I wasn't really in
yet.
So that was weird, because I met everyone. It was I met 60 people immediately. Started becoming friends with everyone. Was getting to know everyone, and then everyone was just all right, go home. And so it was I had a few friends that I met and got close with, but then I just had to get closer with them over text for what 6 months? No, 5 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
And that was weird, because then when you come back, it's now it's just normal again. But for the past 3-4 months, because I was in Massachusetts, so it was
you were completely disconnected.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything.
What you guys say? I mean, for me, being in high school when I was going through all that, my mental health wasn't great. But, did that affect your college mental health in a way?
Honestly, I initially, COVID, I enjoyed myself just because I stayed down here and, I was with friends and good people and I had
so
a
you,
fun...
didn't really, lose?
No, not initially. It was definitely different. I felt I lost stuff and I lost experience and I lost time with people, especially seniors who all of a sudden, I thought, in 2 weeks I was going to see them we got that initial email, but then... I haven't seen some of those guys since.
Yeah.
Which is, crazy, and you just kind of lose those relationships. But as far as, my time during the initial stages, I was down here in South Carolina working, where there was a lot less regulations. I was just going to the beach, enjoying living with my buddies.
And I know you guys were here when Greek life, the overall Greek life. Do you think, it was affected by COVID? Because I never experienced what it was pre-COVID time.
Yeah, it definitely, because I think a lot of people... I think it's stunted, and me and Bubba have had this conversation a lot. It's stunted, our class was the last class that was, I don't want to say normal, but normal could have a conversation with people and socialize, and losing that and being cooped up in your house for months, not having any socialization really affected a lot of kids, high schoolers in general, because the kids that have come down after us, when they're rushing and shit, they're weird. Like, there's some
it's the
weirdos
COVID kids.
Yeah,
we're
like
here.
Yeah.
COVID kids are real.
I mean, we're the last like group of college seniors who like went to college before COVID.
Yeah, because you guys like.
And it was
like
it
I
was so
experienced it.
different.
Like I
It was
experienced
so different.
a normal semester, like fall 19. Like that was my pledge semester, and I went through that, and everything was normal. Like spring 20 was about to be an awesome semester, cut short out of nowhere. I know like I may have had a good experience, but like a lot of people definitely didn't.
And would you say like your guys' like overall college? Do you think you gained a lot being here, or did you think it like overall it's like been like kind of like?
I think I learned a lot of what not to do.
Yeah.
What is that lesson?
I got a lot of stuff that out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. I think I realized that maybe like
Made many mistakes.
I did not maximize my potential in my almost 4 years so far, but like there is a lot of good stuff that I
But a lot of good
definitely
came out of it,
learned.
Yeah.
A lot of good relationships that were forged, and a lot of lessons that I'm glad that I've had at this point. Looking at the end of graduating in May.
Yeah. And did you like? What would you say that like mental health in college, like the stigma of it? Like, do you? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, mental health, but I feel like no one really talks about, like, the college, like, stigma of mental health. Like,
I think it's become a little too mainstream.
yeah.
So mainstream. It's like cool now.
And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
it's
like,
also kind of a cop-out for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
a lot of people use it to their advantage, which
I'm
I
depressed.
think it is, like, more of an issue, actually,
Yeah.
now than, I would say, the whole mental health in general.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
you feel like
still
it
an
has no
issue, but
worthy.
I think people use it.
It's like it's not an excuse to be shitty.
It's like
Yeah.
you can't have a bad day because, like, everyone has a bad day.
No,
Like,
Right,
it's
there's
like,
a difference
Yeah.
between having a bad day and, like, being depressed.
Yeah.
There's a really big difference.
Like I don't think people necessarily understand like the weight of those words sometimes and what
Yeah.
they mean, so they're a lot more inclined to throw it around like when they're having certain feelings, and like
Yeah, I feel that.
depressive feelings are something that everyone has, but I think it definitely has become more of like a mainstream and sometimes like an excuse for people, but on the adverse side of that, like without a doubt, like there are people that suffer, like that are really struggling, and I think COVID,
Really?
everything related to that was not necessarily helping anyone, especially just that isolation, that lack of social interaction.
Yeah.
That's like the big thing that was for me, because I was like fine, really, like going up to it, and then once going home and just having that shutdown and no social interaction. Like, my friends were like 2 minutes away and I wasn't allowed to see them. Like, especially up there, up north, it was way more.
Yeah, it was so much
it was way
stricter.
more
Yeah.
strict.
Even going home was like,
And it's like having that no interaction for 3
Yeah.
months, like that does something to your brain, that does something to you, and like, and then it was pretty rough, like trying to get back into it, and then just like, cause basically like I kind of just sat in my room with like.
when you came back to college, you sat in your room?
No, like when I was home, like just like, I don't want to sound cliche, but like me and my thoughts, literally, it was
Yeah.
just like me and my thoughts in my room, like all the time, and I was just like, I would sit there and like. And then you start thinking deep, and then it's just like, it was a slippery slope. And then when I came back down is when it like really got out of hand, because then like I didn't really fix myself when I was home.
So
And
you
then
came to school like kind
came
of
to school,
broken?
like a little broken, and then we're all online with no regulations down
And then it was
here.
like the drinking,
Yeah,
so
and
it was
everyone,
just...
and like I was getting unemployment.
Bars closed at 11.
Yeah, I was getting unemployment checks like every weekend.
That
every
was
week, and
insane.
it's
I
like-
was getting
I was
unemployment.
like, yeah, dude, unemployment last week. It was 782. I was like, dude.
I remember when your checks at 810 would be like $70. You're like, yeah, no problem, unemployment.
Yeah, it was bad. So like that was like kind of the start, and then slowly but surely, like having people here, like to have my back and to talk me through it. Like, I know Bubba talked me through like a lot of stuff, so that was good. But
I mean,
it was definitely brutal.
I think we've had a very open back and forth about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I know you're very open, Bubba, about like the whole mental health. I mean, what would you say to like someone in college? Like,
I mean,
because I feel like with like men in general, like you aren't a lot, like the whole stereotype is I mean, it's getting a little more open now, but the whole, like, you need, like, men are not supposed to cry, men are not supposed to feel, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, what would you say, like, in a college standpoint, like, advice to people?
No, like we talked about, like, it's definitely getting a lot better, like, the conversations that people talk about.
Yeah.
Like I said, me and Chet have always had a very transparent, open relationship when we talk about that kind of stuff, just because we know we can be there for each other and, like, someone to lean on. Mm-hmm. But, you know, my issues that I've dealt with in the past, like, for me, it came out, and the way that I was able to deal with them was by talking to other people about things.
Yeah.
Talking to them about my experience and helping them through their experiences.
Yeah.
So, like, making that, you know, the stigma in theory is kind of broken when you just actually go out and, like, do the work and actually talk to people and actually, like, make that happen. So, you know, with SIGAP and making sure all the brothers had someone to talk to and have those conversations with, you know, and not just talking about it and saying it, like, actually putting in the work and putting your money where your mouth is and having tough conversations with kids.
And as your chapter, like, I know you were president, you were on exec, and I know recently you guys lost a brother, but, like, has now that been, like, a conversation you guys have had with, like, your chapter, like, being more open?
It was before.
Yeah.
We've always, like, harped on it, like, ever really since, like, he took over and, like, I was with him the first semester. That was, like, our main focal point. And I can count on 2 hands how many brothers I've, like, sat down with and, like, just cried with and, like, talked to. Yeah. And it's, like, real shit. Like,
and people would be shocked, like, hearing this, because, like, people, like, assume that, like, you know, like, frats are just, like, about, like, drinking and stuff, and, like,
well, you know,
I mean, like, I did it.
It's called balance.
Yeah, it's called the balanced men.
Yeah. I mean, just to kind of, like, continue with that, you know, the amount of guys that I've had those heart-to-heart conversations with is crazy, and, you know, that really does help me. And there's this, I want to make it clear to guys that, you know, it's not unmanly to seek help and to talk to people about it. If anything, it's like being in tune with your nature and doing what's best for your body and what's best for your health. Like, when you go to therapy and when you talk to people, they teach you to, you know, first off, take care of your body.
Yeah.
You know, exercise, eat well. They teach you how to deal with things in a systematic way, especially when you're dealing with anxiety and depressive thoughts. You know, there's nothing unmanly about something that's, like, scientifically proven to help you.
Yeah.
And, like, that's talking, having conversations, and
with people.
If it's necessary, you know, you seek professional help.
And checking in on everyone. You never know.
Check on the homies.
Could be the happiest person in the room. Like, you never know what anyone's going through. And, like, to touch into college, what would you guys tell your freshman year self, since, like, your chapter is slowly closing? What would you tell your freshman year self, or give yourself advice, like, back way when?
You know,
I think I would just give myself the green light again, like, just do it all over again, because you kind of, like, it's not, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say, like, don't do this, don't do that, because like, you need to do it, make the mistake, and learn from it.
Learn from so much.
Because, like, I've made so many fucking mistakes here and done so much shit, and it's like good and bad. So it's like, I do it and then I learn from it and I don't do it again.
Yeah.
And like, from those mistakes, I've, like, made, like, from those mistakes, it's helped me, like, lead into a great direction. Even if the mistake was like a big one or a small one, it's still, like, kept me on the track to go forward.
That's a good lesson.
Part of the character arc.
Yeah, I would just say, like,
building the character.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're not putting your, like, literal life at risk, I would say make the mistake, because, like, the sun will come up the next day.
Oh,
and
we love that.
The next beer will be cracked, and it'll be all good.
I, like, want to tell myself, you know, to not make the mistakes. Because I was about to say, like, you know, I'd probably go back and fix all the things that I could have fixed.
Yeah.
But hearing that now, like, yeah, like, it, you know.
It shaped who you are, though, in a sense.
Yeah, like, all these little nuanced issues that I've had throughout my 3.5 years so far, and, like, every little issue that probably has built me. But, you know, I would say worry less, smile more.
Yeah.
You know, remember you're not going to realize you're in the good old days when you're in them, so enjoy every fucking moment, because...
That's so cliche. We're literally just reading out of a book of cliches right now. It's pretty brutal.
He's reading out of...
Yeah. Right, like, you know me.
I mean, I'm in a pretty awesome relationship right now, and I don't think I'd be here without making mistakes. So it's like,
yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Can't say the same.
Colin loves his lady.
Yeah, but like, that's like every relationship I've made at Coastal. It's like at one point it's been through an up and down.
Yeah,
and you just kind of have to like do it to get through it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that was good. That
was smooth.
Do it to get through it. Fuck yeah. That's trademarked.
Hell yeah.
I'm trademarking that.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like you have learned a little bit more about certain relationship-based things than I have over my time here. You know, still learning. But I think like I've gotten like so much out. Like, yeah, no comment.
No comment.
But I think like from my aspect, like I've gotten so much out of like the professional development side of being in college, like taking on responsibility, like the internship that I have right now, like working within my major and like my teachers and everything. Like that's what I will get out of this at the end of the day. And like that's what, you know, your number one priority should be.
That's where I'm struggling.
Now, like you said, you're working within your major. Do you guys have an idea on the career paths you want to go on? It's okay if you don't, because I feel like nowadays, like, it's normalizing that kids are staying an extra year at college. Like, it's okay not to know, but do you guys know?
I mean, like, personally,
does anyone really know?
Yeah, no one knows, but like personally, I would not want to be at this school a fifth year.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Me, I do not want me either.
I've never like heard of a university or a school or a college
that has so many
years are
fifth
so
years.
Normalized.
It is. It's
just
true.
like people
Coastal
like,
Carolina normalizes fifth years.
No, it's a 5-year university.
Yeah, it is. They really need that money for the next fountain or whatever.
They have to.
Yeah,
it's a 5-year university.
Or the next.
But yeah, like I'm a public health major, poli-sci minor. Do I really know for sure what I want to do? No. Like government consulting, healthcare management, something in policy.
So you want a corporate job?
Well, probably more so public sector initially, and then try to move.
So
into the
professional of you. So you you get to wear that big boy suit.
I'd like to dress up.
Yeah, I'm communications, so I don't know what any of those words Bo just said. I only know private sector from like
me either. I kind of just like nodded. Yep.
I'm probably gonna do something with my life.
Well, don't you want to be a stand-up comedian?
That's where I'm like 11-year-old's like mindset right now, where it's like, what's the flavor of the month?
So could we hear a joke?
You know how it's I mean, that's not really how it works. But, like, you know how 11-year-old you ask him, it's just like, I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
And like 3 weeks later, he wants to just be like a line cook or something. Like that's where I'm at. Like 2 weeks ago, I still wanted to do social media. I mean, I'm probably still going to follow that, but I do want to do stand-up. I think that would be fun.
I think you would be a great stand-up comedian. And
that would be on the side, a little side gig.
Oh, side gig.
Unless it took off.
You could just Seinfeld it through life, though.
Yeah.
Just, like, career,
wait, what's that
comedian.
Jersey comedian that's really good? Sebastian
Maniscalco.
Yeah, like, I feel like you could be like... I feel like I could see you calling on stage, like, for that for a living.
I mean, I would definitely do that. Like, that's... I've been keeping my eye open for open mics.
Oh,
there's definitely some down in Myrtle. Like,
I think there is. Myrtle, I'd even go up to
a little open mic action.
I just think you would be so perfect for that, because the amount of times that you should have been punched in the face at this school is insane, and no one has ever hit you.
Damn!
The only time you've ever been hit in the face was when you asked someone to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like
true.
You literally asked someone to punch you, but other than that,
hit me hard.
You should have been robbed.
If I had to pick one person to make fun of me, I would choose Colin.
No,
if it was someone else, probably not.
I don't know if you really.
I've definitely gotten away with way more than I should have, and with that, I'm just gonna say it was my charming smile and my really cute laugh.
Oh.
And yeah, no more comments, because I really should have gotten hit like multiple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I've like witnessed it. And
like there was one point in time where I would walk around the bar and I would just say, "Hey man, you got way too much ice in your drink," and just stick my hand in their drink and scoop out all the ice and throw it on the ground. and walk away.
Colin, I have seen you
I think
completely drunk and doing the most craziest things.
the ketchup smear was also
The ketchup
a classic.
smear was good.
Yeah.
I just put a lot of ketchup on my fingers and wipe it on kids' faces. There's been a lot of stuff that I've done that I don't like.
Your shirt's been off in a lot of places.
Yes.
I will say.
He's giggling.
Sorry, Shannon.
Oh, I get. Colin, I think you are probably one of the funniest people I know. Like, truthfully, I think you're one of the funniest.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
My dad has met Colin one time and like still thinks he's like one of the funniest people he's ever met. My brother, who's never met him before, follows him on Instagram and thinks Colin is the funniest person he's ever met.
Colin was. My parents came for my 21st birthday and we were all at 8:10. Colin was blacked out, like gone, like lights on, nobody's home. And he's singing karaoke. My parents didn't even say hi to him. They just thought he was so funny. The way that he was performing on that open mic. I think you were singing One Direction or something.
I'm pretty sure I was rubbing my nipples too. Which, I've been doing this funny little skit where I make my nipples way unproportionally sized. And I just want to make the statement that they are not that big in real life.
This is actually some of the finest work I've ever seen because you actually can't find a picture of him on his Instagram shirtless without his nipples edited. So like it's
you edit your nipples.
You can't even.
Yeah.
You can't even.
Like on Photoshop.
Yeah. I Photoshop them.
You're lying.
No,
have you ever
okay, let's normalize men using Photoshop.
Yeah, have you ever seen any picture of me shirtless on my Instagram? My nipples are
Colin,
huge.
no, I mean, Bubba's posted one when you guys were on a boat.
Oh,
don't look at that.
Yeah, see, that
was before the surgery.
That one doesn't count.
That was before the surgery.
The Photoshop surgery?
Yeah, that was before I paid subscription to Photoshop.
Yeah. How much was it?
I don't know. I got the student one. It was like $9.99 a month.
Nice.
Bargain.
Throw it on the credit card.
Pay that later.
That is not real money.
Make that.
I think credit cards
minimum statement.
That's the American dream, you know. You just put on the credit card.
On the credit card statement. How do you think the drinking culture is at Coastal? Like unreal.
Horrible.
Unreal.
It's the only thing to do, and it's centered around it.
And there's no beach. I don't care what anyone advertises the school. The beach is 35 minutes away. It's not like it's.
Well, I mean, if you don't hit any traffic, you can get down there in 25.
I think this school's marketing team deserves all the money in the world for. I heard it best the other day. It is the most catfish school in America.
No, it is.
Nice.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
The campus is
Shout out
beautiful.
Aaron Keel for that one. He called Coastal Carolina a catfish of the century.
It is. Well, the campus is beautiful, but
it's so nice.
They market it like this huge school, like football stadium's so nice, but like you need a car. You do need a car. I've learned that the hard way. My freshman and sophomore year, I couldn't do anything. Poor Bubba had to be in a car with me and my dog for 18 hours to go home from Jersey.
I think we did 18 hours, from between there and back.
Yeah, and because I didn't have a car. But now I do. But you need a car to work, to make money. It's not like...
Well, especially if you're coming from, like, everyone comes from the north, too. So, like, unless you're going to fly home every time, like, you need to be able to drive back and forth. Like, it's not I feel like there's no kids from South Carolina here.
I know, like,
There's
4.
only a few.
This is very out-of-state school.
Yeah.
Well, Colin, that's great.
But, sorry.
Going back to the catfish part, like that is a very good.
He said it. I heard him say it, and I said, "I've never heard a correlation so perfect." Because it's in between two major highways. They can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious how they landlocked themselves, but they still manage to every year break records for most people like applicated.
That's
they had to put
insane.
kids. They had to put kids in a hotel like 20 minutes away because they didn't have enough room.
And there's no parking on campus in Exhibit A. And another library we don't need.
I came up with a theory that Conway, South Carolina is
a simulation.
It's like Wakanda, where in the fact that you have to know about it for it to exist, and if you don't know about it, it doesn't exist. If like you have to know someone who comes here, you have to be like related. You have to come here, and it's like you're just driving down 501, and you like emerge into this bubble, and it's just Conway.
It's the simulation. I'm telling you, the
like,
vortex.
There's no rules. There's nothing. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, I mean, that's what happens like when you bring like 10,000 triple-digit SAT score kids to like one campus.
That's
like,
true.
It's like the kid got a 2.2 in high school, but we're gonna accept him because his parents are willing to pay $40,000 a year.
41%, baby.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I didn't do too hot on my ACT. Let's not shit on the kids with the ACT scores.
There's plenty of kids here who are very well qualified.
And that's why they're
What'd
here
you get
first
on your
semester.
ACT?
They get scholarship money and all that shit. I didn't take ACTs. I took SATs.
What'd you get?
1390.
Oh, damn. Colin?
Who knows? I think I got
Perfect
I think
score.
I got like a 13 something. Then I got like 27 on my ACTs.
I guess I'm the only one that didn't do too hot on this
Dude,
couch.
Yeah.
Massachusetts and New Jersey public schools, man.
I got waitlisted to Harvard and
You got waitlisted to Harvard, my ass.
So I decided to come to Coastal.
Mine was between here and FSU.
I don't know, like, what guidance counselor at my high school was like, yeah, we're going to just let this kid apply to one school, Coastal Carolina.
My guidance counselor told me the school was a reach. And I wish I listened.
Well,
I still can't believe she told me that.
Wait, she told you the school is a reach?
She told me that
There's
this school
no
was
way.
a reach for me and that I probably wouldn't get in.
how?
It's
I don't know.
Coastal
I didn't think I was that
Carolina. This isn't
fucking
like
stupid. It's Harvard of the South.
it's Harvard of the South. It's Harvard of the South.
41%.
Yeah, I mean, they do, like, let people in with subpar standards, and then they come to school here, and then, like, some of the degree programs are actually, like, hard.
So as I'm home, I realized that the interview didn't record the whole thing because my camera storage got full and overheated. So tune in on my podcast links to hear the rest of the interview. Bye, guys.